Karens can appear in every moment of our lives all the time. What would you say is one of the worst moments to run into a Karen? Of course, airports and airplanes. Today we're going to take a look at Karens who got instant karma in airports and airplanes, so make sure to watch until the end of the video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any future uploads. That flight attendant wasn't having this Karen. Her eyes showed it all.
I'm trying to be nice. Ma'am, I'm right here. Are you going to get off the aircraft or are you going to sit there and scream? I'm just asking. Because it's going to be your turn.
I got
so
to
you
pee.
need to go.
I got to get off of here. Ma'am, I'm trying to...
Excuse me, I work here, ma'am. Well, I need get off the aircraft, please.
Welcome to the no-fly list, Karen. Go on a walk, grab a beer and meet some random strangers, or just shut up and sit down. Being an active member of society isn't really that hard to do.
Over there. Go over there. Get away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me.
No, you just said it.
Jerry.
Ma'am, that's too much already.
Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
Why is she filming her? What did she do? What did she do? The cashier did?
Nope. You can't.
Oh.
Make her say it again. Say it again. Ma'am. Say it again. Say it. You heard her. You heard her. Make her say it. Make her fucking say it. If that was me, security would be on my ass. Let's be peaceful about this. No, make her say you heard it. Let's get a refund. Did you guys hear it?
I heard it.
Did you guys hear it? Shut up.
Oh, we hear it too.
Stop.
I heard it.
Say it again. Now, say it again. Say it again.
Oh, it is security.
Say it again.
Look at this dude. Look at this like.
Again. No, make her say it again. Let's have the customer say it again. Move. Say it again. Say it again.
DJ Khaled.
Nope. Say it again.
Get him, man. Get him.
Say it again. How first? Did anyone else hear her touch me? Tell her to fucking say it again.
Say what?
If you're running late, don't stop for food.
2 minutes for a single sandwich, and I'm about to miss a flight. So I appreciate it if you could put a cap in your stuff. Doesn't take that long to put egg and bread together. So again, you don't want to make sandwiches? There's hundreds of billions of places hired. Find something you
I
like
already made
to
the
do.
sandwich. Now I
Then
throw it out.
tell what the f*** are you giving it away or trying it out? I paid for it. That sounds even stupid. That was nice? Thank you.
If you got Southwest employees mad at you, you're in the wrong.
Another Karen at LAX.
No, entitlement is what you're doing. Thinking that you can come onto my heels.
Ma'am, can you move up, please?
Oh, see, no! I get the chance to do it when I want to do it.
Ball up your fist at me, baby. You got the wrong one. What's going on? You really got the wrong one.
See what you call a lie.
No, you are entitled. You are the ones who are entitled.
Hey, I'm not going to escort it out. I don't know what you think. This is not spirit.
Can you just say it's not fair? Not feeling protected. I am sick of it. Yes, I am. Every time I ask for something, I get totally yelled at or get an attitude towards. I have been attacked, physically assaulted, and I'm trying to protect myself. And all these people do is turn around and set it up like I'm the one who's being overreacting, and I'm not.
What's worse is a lot of people would take her side and believe her.
What do you need?
She stole my headphones. Mr. Jockey just said, huh? She stole my headphones. If you don't stop her, I am going to call the police. Ma'am. Not a joke.
Funny how they change their tone when they're facing consequences.
Second of all, you called my employee completely uncalled for, inappropriate. You're not going to travel. We don't tolerate that crap with us at all. So you can find another carrier to fly. I'd suggest Spirit. Nope. If you acted appropriate and you weren't disrespectful, then I would let you travel. But unfortunately, you called my employee. Did you call my employee? You didn't.
I was standing there. No, I did
You
not.
didn't. So the other people have heard you say it as well. So
Did somebody else?
yeah, she also had 2 children. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, don't lie, because you already did that once when you took the mask off and put a new one of yours on.
I was
again.
getting this out of my bag. Yes, I was.
You were putting the same mask on. You didn't have a mask on when you went
Can I
down.
tell you what happened?
Unfortunately, no. If you don't follow our policy, it's a period end of discussion. You don't want to follow a federal mask mandate, and then on top of that, calling your name to my it's not going to happen.
I was walking.
In this clip, we have potentially the most ignorant Karen we have ever come across on this channel. Now, if you want an update on any of the clips posted in this video, make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out. Now, this Karen is flying on an airplane and she is seated next to a military person carrying a baby, and instantly you can see the discomfort from the Karen about being next to a baby, even though it is fast and deep asleep and not doing anything wrong. She instantly gets agitated and impatient and starts whining about it, but luckily the woman is super kind and patient and tries to defuse the situation, but the Karen is just not on the same page.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, is that a baby?
Yeah, but it's sleeping. Do you want to put this here or do you want it in the overhead?
Just in the overhead. Excuse me.
Overhead?
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Sir, can you please move her to another seat?
No, she's fine here. This is her seat.
This is my seat.
There are other seats open and she has a baby and I just cannot, I don't want to sit here. Can you please move her? Sir.
No, it's gonna be okay.
So this Karen requests that the lady move seats to another vacant seat instead of asking to move herself, and the flight attendant says no and walks off. Obviously he can tell she's going to be a handful. The Karen then pleads for the lady to move with her baby, and the kind lady just reassures her that everything will be okay and that the baby is asleep and not going to be an issue, but that just isn't enough for this Karen.
No, because babies they always cry on planes. I don't want to sit. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be offensive.
I'm sorry, but the baby's asleep. She's been awake earlier and now she fell asleep. She'll be fine. It's only an hour flight.
I need to get
Can you help me with the seatbelt?
Yeah, sure.
I need to get sleep on this plane.
Maybe you need to put your mask up.
Can you please move her to another seat, please?
She's fine here.
No, she's
This is
not
her
fine.
seat.
I'm not fine. I paid a lot of money for this seat.
You're gonna wake up the baby and she's fine right now. It's only 1 hour.
fine.
It's
Is
only
that
an hour
okay?
flight,
Okay?
right? Yeah, that's
All
good.
right.
So this Karen starts to get irritated when a request is denied and keeps her mask down even though there's a mandate out stating that you have to be wearing a mask at all times by the time that this clip is recorded. Now the lady is trying to be nice and patient with her even though she has stated that the baby will be fine, but that just isn't enough for this Karen. This Karen really starts arguing with the flight attendant and the lady at once and really makes things worse for herself.
Hour and a half
Once
flight.
we get in
Ma'am,
the air,
put your mask up, please.
I'm fine. I'm not sick. Once we get up in the air, I know babies start to cry. Their ears. I don't. Please.
Ma'am, I'm holding the baby's ear so you don't wake her up. Can you just, it's gonna
Have
be
you
okay.
flown with this baby?
Yes, I've flown once before and I made sure that she was awake earlier. She's nice and asleep now. She'll be okay.
Excuse me.
It's gonna be okay.
So this Karen keeps at it as if she's an expert on babies and that they are all the same, even though this nice lady has made sure that her baby was awake earlier so she would sleep through the flight. But there just isn't any pleasing this Karen unless she gets 100% what she wants.
Yes.
Hi. Hi. You walked away from me when I was talking to you.
Well, I'm doing my job. Is there another problem?
Your job right now is to make the customer happy, and I'm not happy.
Put your mask up. I'm not going to tell you again. Put your mask up. There's a mandate.
Can you please move her to another seat, maybe next to someone else with a child? That would be the respectful thing to do.
You're going to wake her up. It's gonna be okay.
She's gonna wake up
Can
and
you
she's
put
gonna
your
scream
mask
and
on,
cry. It
please?
happens every single time I'm
Sir-
on a flight and I'm
Sir,
sick.
she doesn't have her mask on. Can
So this is when the Karen becomes extremely entitled and starts acting as if she is the center of the world of this flight and that the flight attendant has nothing better to do. And he states that he's busy and otherwise and puts her in her place and walks off, and that doesn't sit well with her. So she continues to act irrational and starts causing a scene, disturbing everyone around her.
Can you please?
Ma'am, I'm not going to tell you again. Put your mask up or I'm going to remove you from the plane.
But
Do
you
hear
don't
me?
seem to be
We're not-
listening to me and hearing me, so I'm taking my mask down so you can understand what I'm saying.
Ma'am, it's going to be okay. You're gonna actually wake her up if you let's just sit back, relax. The flight is about to take off.
I don't
It's gonna be okay.
understand how you can sit here and say that when you know it's not true. You know it's not true.
Listen, she's a good baby. She'll be fine.
All
okay?
babies are the same. It's no good baby and bad baby.
So this Karen refuses to keep her mask up and refuses to stop complaining about the baby to the point where the flight attendant has to warn her that he will remove her from the flight if she doesn't follow orders. Do you think she will listen now that she's been threatened to be removed? Find out now.
I do not want to sit next to a baby.
Can you just have the mask up?
You
at least
understand
for
this,
now?
right?
Can you just, sir? Can you just have her put the mask up, please?
No.
Excuse me,
Sir,
Put your mask up.
But
I'm
you are not
telling you
listening
again.
to
I'm
me.
not telling you again.
when I put
I'm
it
not
on,
telling
you
you
cannot
again.
read my lips, and I need you
But
to
I can hear
my
you
lips.
loud
I
and
do
clear.
not want
I can
to
hear
sit
you
next
loud
to
and clear. You're going to wake up the child. It's a short flight.
Put-
Thank you.
Please.
Thank
put-
you.
I will pay to buy the robe. I will buy the entire robe. Please
my
just
gosh.
move. I don't understand. There are other seats available.
So yet again, she continues to keep her mask down and gets in an argument with the flight attendant again to the point where he has to talk to her like a child in order to try and get her to listen, but it just doesn't stop there. Thankfully, she receives some karma at the end of the video.
You need to sit down.
No, I'm
down.
not. I'm sick of being told to sit down
and
because
put up your
nobody's
mask.
helping me.
Can I get a marshal? Can I get a
Excuse
marshal
me?
to the plane?
Excuse me.
So she is so disruptive that a nearby passenger gets up out of his seat and disembarks the aircraft because he can't take any more of her nonsense. She continues to argue with the mother and everyone around her and just won't give up. She's absolutely relentless. Eventually, the flight attendant asks for an air marshal to come over to defuse the situation and sort her out, and she just isn't okay with that.
I need a marshal
Sit
to
down
help
or
me
they're
with this
coming.
situation.
Sit down.
I am a customer. I was
Sit
told that
down.
the customer
Sit
always
down.
comes first. Please get out of my face.
Sit down now.
Please get out of my
Put
face.
your mask up and sit down.
Please
You
get
are violating
out of my
Federal
face.
Aviation Administration rules. I'm going to remove you from this plane.
This is absolutely
Sit
ridiculous.
down.
This is ridiculous.
Sit down.
No.
Ma'am, sit down now.
Is nobody here?
Sit
I know
down
all of you
now.
know. Nobody wants to sit next to that baby. Nobody.
So after non-stop complaining and ignoring orders from the flight crew, the marshal is called and Karen is still going on about her nonsense. The poor mother and nearby passengers just have to put up with it until she's removed from the plane. I've got secondhand embarrassment from her. Lucky she received karma.
I don't understand why
You are lucky
you are
she is
allowing
a-
this to happen.
You are lucky she's a deep sleeper, okay? You're upsetting me. Please don't. I've had a long day. Okay,
You are
please.
upsetting me right now, okay?
What?
You are upsetting
Really?
me. This is just not fair, okay? I
Oh my
asked you to
God.
just please go somewhere else and to just be respectful, and you cannot even be respectful, and I just don't understand. I don't understand.
Oh
It
my-
is not fair.
Look, I'm having to hold my baby's ears to not hear your loud voice. You're gonna wake her.
My
please.
loud voice, we all know what is going to happen when the plane goes off. I have asked you.
Ma'am, I can
and
hear you
asked
in the back of the plane.
Her mask is down
Put
again.
your mask
please.
up.
This
This
is
is having
Fasten
a
your
really
seatbelt.
bad day, and I do not know
Obviously,
why
and
everyone
it's
is
about to
yelling
get
at me
worse.
for asking a simple
my.
request. I do not understand
The
why
request
everyone
is
is ganging up
Put
on
your
me.
mask up.
Oh my God.
Sit back. Fasten your seatbelt.
So this Karen starts having a mental breakdown and plays the victim card, making it all about her and her bad day, saying that the mother is unreasonable, which is just absurd because the mother paid for her seat, the mother did nothing wrong, the baby was asleep, and this Karen just had to make everything worse for absolutely no reason.
You know what? You guys all deserve whatever's coming to you. When I send this in, I'm going to send this footage. I'm watching you film.
Yeah, well, I'm
I'm
watching
send this
you.
in to your company, to your manager, to the owner of the company.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me.
You should be ashamed of
Ma'am,
yourself.
I've heard enough from
Saying you represent this country.
I am so sorry.
Yes, you're going to move her now?
I'm not-
Now you're going to move her?
I'm going to remove you.
Excuse
Please,
me?
pardon me. Yes, come right this way.
No.
Do you have a carry-on
No, I'm not getting off this plane.
This is not a request.
My luggage is underneath the plane.
So this camera person encountered this drunken Karen who was going on a trip with her boyfriend to Ecuador before things took a turn for the worse. Unfortunately, this boyfriend was on the receiving end of it and took it all in in, but thankfully someone captured this moment and this woman was held accountable and it was shared everywhere online. Just check this out.
I wish you would help me, Carlos. I wish you would help me. It's gonna make me look stupid. I wish you would help me. I wish. You look stupid and confused the entire time we're here. And it's cool. Keep doing. I've never had this done before, and you won't help me! Sorry, son of Sorry, son of So, I'm American, and I don't understand a single word that this says.
Why? Because you're going to do well.
Start screaming and have someone get you away from me. I hate you. I hate you for doing this to me. This is my first flight. And you're doing this to me.
So as you can see and hear, she was hurling all kinds of abusive statements and insults towards him, including saying that she hates him. Meanwhile, he was in a foreign country trying to translate everything and handle her while she's having a breakdown and abusing him. I really feel for this guy, and he made a follow-up video after he was identified and he explained it, saying that she had a substance abuse problem as well as mental disorders, which is no excuse, but it gives you some context on her behavior. But he did end the relationship and move on to new and better things and left this negative part of his life behind, so thankfully karma did catch up to this Karen. So next up we have a crazy Karen who has a breakdown in an airport after getting into some trouble after entering a restricted zone. After the staff attempted to apprehend her, she went on a rant and started screaming, trying to explain that she was attacked. Just watch this.
He threw me to the ground! My name is Terry M. Booz. I'm the manager of the airport here!
That's
Who
not
saw him choking? Who saw him choke me to the ground? Who saw me?
I saw you run through the door when you weren't supposed to. And
He
I saw him
me
push
to
you
the
out
ground!
the door.
You deserve
I'm
it!
pretty sure you're mistaken.
In a dress!
Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo! You
Not helping. Not helping. Not
Excuse me?
I want the manager of the airport here!
So as Karens usually do, she demanded the manager of the airport to come to her and sort out the situation, as if the police being there isn't enough. I guess she thinks she can wiggle her way out of this one. Well, not today, Karen. In this clip we have an entitled Karen who refuses to get off the plane after starting a massive disruption amongst the passengers on the aircraft. She starts ranting at passengers as they come up to her asking her to leave the aircraft so they can take off to Las Vegas, but she just straight up refuses and argues with anyone who comes near her. She insists that she's wearing a mask and so she should be given the right to fly with them, but is straight up oblivious to the fact that she's causing a scene and delaying the flight for everyone else.
What's your job? What is going on? What is going on? No, you need to explain to me what the fuck is going on. I'm wearing a mask. You're not wearing a mask. You're not. Why are you getting up? Sit up. Put on your mask and sit down.
Oh, man. There's always one. Don't be like her. Don't be like her.
So it's pretty evident that everyone on the plane, including the captain, is starting to get frustrated over this Karen. Check this out.
Oh my God.
I don't feel safe too.
Tell me what's going on. Nobody on this airplane is wearing a mask.
Hey.
What's going on? Why are you kicking me off the plane? Because I'm white.
So as things start to come to an end, I think this Karen faces the reality of the situation, but then she had to go and pull the race card saying that's why she's being kicked off. Thankfully this Karen was removed from the flight and denied entry back on. In this clip we have a crazy Karen who disrupts the peace on an aeroplane and starts spitting on people and then gets asked to leave the plane, and that's when she goes really crazy.
Okay. Hello.
We're gonna take you off the aircraft.
Where'd you at?
Yep, you're gonna have to get off the aircraft,
Yeah,
okay?
and you're out there,
yep.
and I compliment you not wearing a mask.
She's a representative of the aircraft. They don't want you flying on their plane today, okay? So you're gonna have to get off the
After they
aircraft.
made us wait and wait and wait.
Yep, that's the way it is, but right now I'm gonna
And
need you...
that's fine, and I will respect that.
Okay, so I'm gonna need you to grab your bag and just
And I
step
did
off
not
the
do
aircraft.
anything, actually. Disrespect.
We'll talk about it outside.
Disruptive, besides speak my mind.
Okay.
And you know what? I live in America, and that's what America's about.
So after being told that she's going to have to leave the aircraft, she starts to really lose the plot and go wild. You guys just have to see this.
Calm down.
No, you know
Listen
that.
to me. Grab your bag.
You know that. You know that.
Give me another unit on the plane, please.
If you are ever going to put your hands on
Grab
me.
your bag.
No, I will grab my bag. But you don't want to sit here and say what I'm saying.
No one's
And
going to
if
put their hands on you unless you
alright,
have to.
yeah, you
Grab
won't.
your bag and
Yeah,
just step
yeah,
off
you
the
won't.
Okay, but I need you to get up.
No.
Okay?
You need me to get up? You may need me to get up, but you know what I feel my need to do as a person? Just like Jesus Christ.
You need to calm down.
No, I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm gonna say what I need to do, and if you're gonna do whatever you feel you need to do to me, right? So I'm gonna say what I have meant to say.
So the cop requests another unit, obviously, as she's going to be a handful, and that's when she starts to really crank things up a notch and starts publicly speaking.
No, to everybody.
Stand up, man.
Yeah, everybody is
You're
doing
gonna
this.
get arrested if you do not stop.
I'm already gonna get arrested.
You're gonna get arrested if you don't stand up and get off the aircraft.
Probably already gonna get.
Do you want to get arrested?
I really,
Then stand up and get off the aircraft. That's all you have to do.
It's not about that, man.
Okay.
You can.
I'm gonna ask you one more time, and then I'm gonna have to put my hands on you. Okay?
For what reason?
Because you're not
Let me
listening.
ask you that. You're gonna put no. And that's fine. That's fine. Why do you have a right to put your hands on me, though?
Okay, let's go, Rekt. Come on.
No, why do you have a right to put your hands on me?
Ma'am.
What am I doing that makes you feel like?
So the police officers gave her numerous warnings, and she still decided to go on a rant and ignored them until they announced that if she doesn't get up, they will have to put their hands on her, and that's when she gets defensive.
You have a right to put your hands on me.
Ma'am.
What am I doing that makes you feel like you have a right to put your hands on me? Seriously though, can you tell me that? Can you just help me to understand as a human that is alive? Why do you? Seriously though.
Yep. Get 'em
like
off.
seriously, why? Can you just tell me that? Like I'm actually asking you as a
At this
person.
point, here's what's happening. They're gonna deplane the aircraft. I'm gonna take you off the
That
plane.
was already happening. Don't.
And you're going to jail. Just so you
that
know.
was already happening.
It won't happen
Okay.
if you get up and walk out with me right now.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to,
Yeah. Right now, they're gonna deplane. As soon as they deplane, you're going to jail. Okay? If you do not get up. That's how it's gonna work.
Do you see how that's a threatening system?
That's the way it is, man.
Not cool.
Are you
I
gonna-
want to trust you. You want to trust me? That's not healing.
So eventually they convince her to get up after stating that they were going to deplane the aircraft and take her to jail, which pretty much just means they're going to make everyone disembark the aircraft. And it was at this moment that she realized how serious things really were. This Karen says she has a gun in an airport. In this video, we take a look at all the craziest and most unstable Karens in airports. If you guys want an update on any of the clips in this video, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. In this next clip, we have another entitled Karen who is apparently upset with how long it's taking the airline to get the aircraft ready and passengers on board. Now, there are two ways to handle things like this in this situation. The polite way, where you kindly ask what the situation is and how much longer they think things will take, or there is the Karen way, where you start screaming and swearing at employees who have no control over anything in any way, and of course this lady chooses the Karen way, as does her husband, and they start hurling swear words towards the employees before demanding a refund and constantly complaining about how bad the airline is, as well as bragging that she works for a bunch of lawyers and threatening legal action towards the airline, which is completely absurd considering they haven't broken any laws and are doing their best to get things progressing and moving forward.
And look at all those people down there. This is goddamn.
Get your together. Oh.
Yeah, we can't fly because of your staff shortages. Don't give me the.
Are you
Oh
done?
no. Actually, you see this? They're getting called tomorrow. I work for a bunch of lawyers.
Okay.
And they are getting called in your head office.
Do you think that I'm intimidated by
Oh,
that?
I don't give a what
Okay.
you think.
So now,
If you don't stop swearing, you're not traveling with us.
Really?
yeah.
Do you want to keep
We're not
going?
traveling anyway. I want a refund
Well,
and
we
I
will
want a
make sure
rebook.
that you don't travel at all if you continue
Oh,
to travel.
I don't give a
Okay, great. In that case, we will just remove
I
your
want
ticket.
a refund and I'm booking with another airline.
Okay. Breathe.
This is goddamn.
You need to step up to the line, man.
So as you can see, they were just outright embarrassing and disrespectful towards the employees and made a scene in front of everyone just because it was taking a little bit longer than expected. If they weren't already walking off and going to another airline, they for sure would have been refused service after their actions in this clip. Now in our next clip, we have an unstable Karen who goes by the name Sabrina Thomas. Now this Karen goes on a massive rant in an airport while having a mental breakdown and yelling at staff, causing a massive disruption amongst the airport and all the passengers nearby, or just in general in the airport. She's pretty loud. She was scheduled to board a JetBlue flight on a Sunday evening, but instead she unleashed a furious verbal attack at an airline employee stationed behind a desk, calling him and his colleagues rapists and also claiming that she had a gun as she was homeless. It was all captured by a nearby passenger who was about to board onto his flight when he stopped to record this crazy situation. It was alleged that she also went on a massive rant about hating white people and white police officers specifically, even though she herself is white. According to an incident report obtained by Daily Mail, a sheriff's deputy responded to the F concourse at the JetBlue Terminal 3 at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport for a passenger causing a disturbance shortly after 5 p.m. on a Sunday. The deputy wrote that when he encountered Thomas, she threw a duffel bag at the wall and hurled her passport onto the floor. She then apparently threw a boarding pass at him and then she ripped it into multiple pieces. Due to her aggressive actions, she was grabbed and restrained with her hands behind her back. She was eventually escorted off the concourse after screaming that she effing hates white cops and white people and was taken to Broward General Hospital as an involuntary Baker Act patient after displaying what the officers termed as a bizarre behavior and making irrational statements.
God damn it! Who does that to a woman like me? Who? Get me out of this thing! You rapist!
What?
Get me out of here! Get me out of here! A gun on me because I'm homeless! Get me out!
She's a gun. She had a gun. She said that. Yeah, she said that. She did. She said a gun. Yeah.
So as you can see, she goes absolutely crazy at the man behind the desk for no apparent reason. According to a report, prior to her outburst, she was waiting to board a flight when a JetBlue staffer noticed that she seemed a bit unwell and asked her whether she had been drinking or is currently on any medications. She replied that she was okay and denied any alcohol or medication use, and as she was about to proceed onto the plane, that's when the crazy Karen then reportedly yelled out loud, "Go F yourself." The crew member in charge of the boarding then told her to wait 5 minutes and then addressed her again to see if she was cleared to fly, and at that point the woman started to yell and scream, and that's when this all began. In this next clip we have a crazy irate Karen who has a semi-mental breakdown after being told she won't be allowed on her flight. She even threatens the employees talking to her, saying that she would beat them down if she doesn't make it onto her flight. You guys just have to see this.
What did they tell you? What did they tell you?
Just calm down.
I will be on that flight.
Calm down.
I'm not taking my mother.
Calm down. Calm down.
Now you heard what they said, right?
calm down.
And I'm telling them.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm not you. If I'm gonna beat your ass to the back, if I don't get on that flight, you're gonna be beat down to the death right here. I promise you that.
Calm down.
Put a mask on.
What do you want? Come on.
So as you guys can see, she went crazy on these poor people before the police in the building pulled her to the side to have a talk. And sadly the video does end there, but we will be sure to keep you guys posted if any updates on this situation come to light. Just make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss out on any of the posts.